Ah, BioWare. Never in all my years have I seen such a consistent game. God fucking damn it. Okay, I think you're starting to see a pattern in my videos now. Anyway, believe it or not, there was a point in time where it was thought that BioWare could do no wrong, and many hailed BioWare as the king of RPG developers. Whether or not this is actually true, well, not really, but nevertheless, they make consistently ambitious, well-structured, and highly successful ventures. After 2003's Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, BioWare was basically confirmed to be profitable in the eyes of Microsoft, and was purchased to make games exclusive to PC and Xbox. With Microsoft, BioWare essentially gained a huge amount of freedom, and with that freedom came Jade Empire. Jade Empire is weird. It's one of BioWare's more underappreciated games and has sort of a cult following. In comparison to BioWare's other titles, it really does stick out, especially when it's away from the tired Dungeons & Dragons as well as sci-fi settings we're used to seeing from BioWare. But the question remains, is the game any good? Rate, comment, and subscribe to find out. First off, we have the story, an important aspect of an RPG, particularly for BioWare, which main focus is now to make gay romance simulators. Oh, I'm so funny. Anyway, Jade Empire starts off in a small town called Two Rivers, in which your silent protagonist of your choosing is the staff student of the Martial Arts Academy under the watchful eye of Master Li. All is well until a powerful group of warriors known as the Lotus Assassins attack your peaceful town. After defeating them, Master Li explains how our character is the last of a race of warriors known as the Spirit Monks, people who are able to take advantage of the abilities of amulets. He sends us down to this cave where we are treated to some exposition on the Water Dragon, a powerful deity that is important in the endgame. After this, you find out you have to rescue your Gao-powered Dawnstar from Gao the Lesser, a disgraced student of the Academy thanks to yours truly. We meet a fellow called Sargacious Zoo, who is pretty badass. We then beat the crap out of Gao and save Dawnstar. Then to top it off, we find out the village of Two Rivers has been set aflame by the Lotus Assassins, and have kidnapped our beloved Master Li. The three escape the Lotus Assassins, and the rest of our quest entails our party making their journey to the Imperial City to save Master Li from his imprisonment. But is it all as it seems in the Jade Empire? I'm not going to spoil it, but at the end there is a twist that would probably make Shamalama Ding Dong cringe in anguish. So Zealous Zombie, what did you think of the story? The story is actually pretty well done, as you might expect, but I think Jade Empire has a little bit of an edge over previous BioWare games. For one, the setting is terrific. The word immersion is thrown around a lot these days, but I was really pulled into the world. For one, this isn't really a setting I'm used to seeing, and I probably won't experience another RPG like it. Because of this, it feels fresh and new. There's a lot of optional lore you can read, and you really feel that this universe has a history to it. Not only that, but the dialogue is pretty well written too, with some pretty good voice acting to back it up. Aside from the obnoxious twist towards the end, each area you come across feels nicely developed, and you feel like you make an impact to the land throughout your journey. My main complaint with the story is the pacing of the plot. It starts off slow like any BioWare game. It isn't as bad as, say, Taris, but it's approaching that level. Then I think the game moves way too fast. The first time I played this game, I beat it in about 15 hours, and that was including some of the side quests. What I'd really been hoping for was numerous locations to explore that really took advantage of the setting. We only get about 4. These areas are expansive, but if another area or 2 were added, I think the game would have greatly benefited from it. I should probably explain the morality system as well. Now, I'm not really a fan of the whole meta morality system, because at least to me it creates a disconnect to the experience. It basically reflects more power fantasies to the player, which is fine, but in an RPG I want to respond in the most logical manner possible that reflects my actual decisions, so the whole objectively good and bad system really irks me. It's why I prefer KOTOR 2 much more to KOTOR 1, to be honest. Jade Empire's system works like that by having 2 opposing religions, or lifestyles if you will. There is the way of the open palm, in which you're nice to everybody, and you're probably the biggest Gary stew to ever exist, and there's the way of the closed fist, in which you're an arsehole who does evil things because being evil is great XD. The game tries to add some morality depth with the way of the closed fist akin to KOTOR 2, with Darwinism elements, and these work okay, but it still creates a disconnect for most players who just want to be evil because being evil is fun. This way I can't connect to the narrative of that side. This really isn't BioWare's fault though, it's just a restriction of the morality system, which, to be fair, is a little bit better in Dragon Age Origins because there is no meter, and it forces you to think about these complex questions and your responses and how it affects the world around you. Jade Empire has these moments, but the game already has set which is good and which is bad, which can conflict with your own personal opinions. For instance, there is a moment when exploring a cave in which you have to help someone who is inflicted with a disease that will turn him into a monster. You can either kill him as a man or wait until he has a vigorous and painful transformation and defeat him as a beast. My decision is to kill him so that he wouldn't suffer. It's a basic euthanasia type morality choice. Apparently, this decision reflected the way of the closed fist, even though I thought I was being kind. It revoked my morality points and punished me for playing the game how I wanted to, rather than in the restrictions of the morality system. Little moments such as that kind of tarnished the experience for me slightly, but the main plot overall is very good, so it's okay. A distraction, but okay. The party members are pretty good characters as well. They all have individual backstories that are kind of interesting and they're likable enough in their own ways. But a lot of them are clearly not needed after you first meet them, and the short length of the game means I never really connected to someone like, say, Henpecked Who or the Black Whirlwind as much as I would have liked to. Anyway, moving on to graphics since I can't form a segue to save my life. The game, for the original Xbox standards, looks very good, and the power of the machine is definitely on show. The animations are nice and there's a lot of detail put into the environment. The size of it alone is impressive, leading to some gorgeous open areas. This is all complemented by the game's aesthetics. The game knows when to be bright and when to be dark. The mood and setting fit each other perfectly, and combined with technical prowess, it's a very nice game to look at. So I'm a strong advocate for Jade Empire's setting, story, and visual design. But how does it play? The gameplay, funnily enough, is the worst part and really lets down what could have been a terrific RPG. Combat is boring. It tries to be exciting. It tries to be deep. It tries to be accessible as possible. It tries to include strategy. But it doesn't. Let me explain it to you. Instead of equipping weapons that influence the amount of damage you deal, you have different fighting styles in which you level up. Each one of them has their own specific uses that aid you in battle and can drain your ki or focus gauge. This system sounds interesting at first, but combat is so monotonous and easy that you never get an urge to take advantage of it. You can even combine styles and produce interesting combos, but the game never makes it so you have to use them. The result is boredom. You may be entertained for an hour or so, but it gets so repetitive that it really drags down the game. Apart from the combat, the game is well structured and pretty much what you would expect from BioWare in terms of quests. Some nice set pieces, difficult decisions, you name it, it's here. So overall, does Jade Empire hold up? Well, I think Jade Empire is flawed. Very flawed. But if the setting interests you, or you want a decent RPG to spend 15 hours on, then you could do worse. Is it underrated? No. It got the reception it deserved in my eyes, and the place it has among BioWare's titles makes it stand out to me as a risk. And I admire it more for that. Would I like to see a sequel? Sure. It'll never happen because BioWare is busy with this sinking ship of a game, but Jade Empire has a lot of ideas, and I think they are worth expanding upon. So there you have it. This has been Zealous Zombie from Zealous Analysis, and I'll see you next time.